Shalom. This week's an exciting week. It's the start of a whole new round of the Torah. We're starting with Parshas Bereshis. And I'm personally very excited about this, and I'm glad that you're watching this first Dvar Torah of the year. What's in a name? A name is the first symbol of our individual identity. Our parents, the people who love us most in this life, give us our names. We are given names within the context of a covenant with God. Boys are given their names at their circumcision, and girls at the reading of the Torah. Names reflect our uniqueness, how treasured we are, and the seminal moments in the Jewish people's relationship with God. When the first man was created, he wasn't given a name. As God wrote, and excuse me while I read here, male and female he created them, and he blessed them, and he named them man, Adam, on the day that they were created. Human beings were just called by their general species name, man. Unlike humans who weren't given names, names were given to the animals by Adam. God wrote, and again I'm going to read here, "The Lord God formed from the earth every beast of the field and every fowl of the heavens, and he brought them to man to see what he would call it. And whatever the man called each living thing, that was its name. Man named all the cattle and all the fowl of the heavens and all the beasts of the field. But for man himself, he did not find a helpmate, no spouse opposite him." When Adam became lowly, God, and once again, God built the side that he had taken from man into a woman, and he brought her to man. Man said, "This time it is bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh." It was at this point that Adam has an opportunity to name his fellow human, but instead he opts for a generic name. This one shall be called Isha, woman, because this one was taken from Ish, man. When Adam named his wife, he called her by a generic species name, woman. It is interesting to wonder how they referred to each other in their first moments together. "Hey, woman." "Yes, man." As first dates go, the first man's and woman's date was a disaster. The snake becomes the worst third wheel, sabotages the date by convincing the woman to disobey God and get her date, man, to do the same. When the matchmaker, God, asked the first man how he liked his date, man responded by complaining she had caused him to disobey God. Listen to what he says. "The woman who you gave me, she enticed me to eat from the tree, and so I ate." Adam blamed his date for his own disobedience, and if not for the ending being well known, it is almost guaranteed that we would think that there wouldn't be a second date between the first man and woman. Yet, immediately after this incident, Adam does something strange. Listen to how God wrote it. "The man named his wife Eve, Chava, because she was the mother of all life." Adam does something he didn't do for any other creation that he named. He gave the woman a name unique to her, not to her species. There would be only one creation named Chava, for she was to be the mother of all life. As bad dates go, Adam's naming of Chava was surprising. In fact, Adam naming Chava seems to be the naming that starts the customs of all humans giving each other unique names. Why did Adam give the first woman a unique name? And why did he give her a name specifically only after they were punished? Let's answer. One can only imagine how devastated Adam and Chava were after they ate from the forbidden tree. After they were told their harsh punishments, regret probably turned into spiraling depression. Chava might have felt useless and the cause of all bad that was to come to the world. It was at this point that Adam cheered her up by giving her a name that spoke to her value. Far from Chava to think that she was useless or brought devastation to the world, rather she was to be Chava, the mother of all life. By giving Chava a unique name and one that spoke to her value, Adam was sensitive to her feelings. Adam could have ignored her and blamed her for the devastation that had caused the world. Instead, Adam welcomed her. Adam named Chava at her most vulnerable time, when she had just been punished. Adam naming Chava specifically after having been punished provides a lesson to all parents, siblings, teachers, and friends. People make mistakes and they commit grievous sins. Their sin devastated others, but also it destroys the sinner themselves. A sinner who is depressed does not need to be forever ostracized by the world. A sinner needs to be embraced to help them rehabilitate themselves. Whether it's our child, our student, a sibling, or a friend, we must be sensitive to the depression and loneliness that sinners experience and welcome them back to the community warmly. Just as Adam made sure that Chava felt assured of her worth, we must make sure that sinners around us feel valued as well. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you'll continue throughout the year.